Hi everyone, this is Maggie. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by to see me. I am going to, I'd like to introduce a new piece of interactive ephemera. It's new to me. It certainly is not new in this community. I saw this on Hither and Yon Studios, and I will link her video below if you've not already watched her. She does some really, really cool things, and I enjoy watching her. I just can't think of her name, but I will link her. And this is a cute interactive piece that you could use in different ways in a junk journal. You could put it in a pocket. Like most of these are, you could put it in a pocket. You can glue it to a page. You could glue it and make a pocket or a tuck spot out of it. So, or it can be just standalone, and like I said, you just put it in a pocket. Okay, so this, I watched the video and I wrote down the measurements for the pieces that you need. However, I'm the type of person, I really am the type of person that learns by doing. And watching somebody else do it is not really the easiest way for me to learn. When I was in nursing school and in clinicals and had actually started working, I always said, you know, I learned better by doing it, so, you know, let me do it. And you know what they say about see one, do one, teach one. Well, believe me, this is in no way an attempt to teach you. I'm just introducing you to it. I'm going to show you how I made it. And then if you like it, you can you can go to her channel and watch it, or you can make it from the measurements that I give you. I am going to give you the measurements, so that was the most important thing to me, actually. The rest I had to really kind of figure out on my own, and it took me a minute or two, I'll tell you. So this was my kind of first attempt, and I was on the right track, but I wasn't there. And actually, I used this to write my measurements on. This was my second attempt. Still no good. Didn't work. Didn't have it right. Okay, this was my third one. And I finally got the hang. I finally figured it out. It's an unfinished piece in this state, but I got it pretty much figured out in this one. Okay, my last prototype, and the one that made me feel like I was ready to show this to you, was this one. And what it is you put it in a junk journal, like I said, whatever you want to do with it. This is not decorated. It wasn't even inked. I didn't bother to do any of that because I wasn't sure about it. So I just didn't want to waste the time. But the one we're going to make, I will ink. So you look at it like this. This is like a little door here that opens up. And when it opens up, it reveals a little something special in the opening, in that circle. And in this case, it's a pretty green butterfly. And then you close it back up and it's hidden again. Isn't that fun? Cute? And when I kind of figured it out and did it my way, it was so super simple. Now today I'm not going to decorate this one either, but I am going to ink it. It'll probably make it easier for you to see. And I used on this one, and I think it's perfectly fine, I used my 32-pound paper. I print my digitals, my junk journal pages on this weight. I like the weight. I like the way it feels. So I made it out of that 32-pound paper, and it's not too flimsy, you know, or anything. I think if you made it out of a real lightweight cardstock, it might work, but it can also be very bulky with the layers, because you got a layer here, a fold, a layer here. you've got the back layer, then you've got the layer with the circles and the little tabs that go in to cover the image. So that's quite a few layers to just be made out of, cardstock. So I think this heavier copy paper works just fine. But you could use whatever you like and whatever you wanted. I just printed a couple of images from a digital on the front and back on this one, and then on the other sheet I left blank because the that side is not going to be showing. So you need basically 4 pieces plus whatever you're going to put in the center. Yeah. Now you can add pieces, which if I was going to put this in my journal, I would probably put some contrasting paper on these little doors. And I would probably, and I would, if I'm going to paste it, whatever I'm going to do with it, whether I glue it down or put it in a pocket, I'm going to wrap something around it to tie it so it stays closed. And then this isn't really, I didn't do the best job of flattening it out and, you know, after I scored it. Okay, so the first piece you need is that's 6 inches tall, so you need 11 inches by 6 inches. And that's why you can just use, you know, 11.5 by 5. And like I said, I printed mine on 2 sides so that I could, didn't have to back anything or deal with white pages or anything like that. So the first piece, this piece, which is this piece right here, is 6 by 11. That's 6 inches by 11 inches. And it needs to be scored. It needs to be scored at, I already scored this, but I'm going to show you at 1.5 inch, 3 inch, and then the same thing on the other side, 1.5 inch and 3 inch. And it really is hard to see those folds on here because of the color of the paper. And then you fold in at the 3 inch and fold in at the 1 inch. Well, actually fold the 1 inch, 1.5 inch this way. Now these should come together, so we'll see. Okay, so fold it in at the 3 inch or the 3.5 inch score mark, and the 1.5 inch gets folded back. Whoops, gets folded back. Oh, they make pretty good. All right, so there you have your base for it. Then these little doors open up, and that's what we're going to be placing everything else on. Now the next piece that you need, and I did make this contrasting in this case, is I made mine, she suggested in her video 3 by 7, but I used a wider hole punch because she put 2 little windows in hers. And I'm only putting 1, but I'm using a 2.5 inch, is this 2.25 inch circle punch. So I made mine 3.5 inches, and it works out fine. So this one you score at a 1/2 inch. Well, let me show you. A 1/2 inch on the top and a 1/2 inch on the bottom. And these just fold in. Like this, and they will eventually, they'll be glued to the top and the bottom, but behind, like back here. They'll be secured back there. Okay, but before we do that, I need to put a hole punch in here. Now, I really like this hole punch versus the other style. to me, it's easier to hold and it's easier to compress. That's just me. I've never had one like this before. I've only had this a short time. Plus, well, even on this one, you don't have a lot of room. I wish they made these punches with a longer opening here, so you could adjust where you put it a little bit more easily, because when you, as far as you can put it in, it still makes the punch somewhat of, you know, it's not the same on both sides. Now, I do like this because whatever this means right here, which I don't know what it is, EK, it seems to line up perfectly and pretty much perfectly in the center, because I did draw this center line here because I want my circle that I punch out to be as much in the center as I can. So make my punch. I'll save this circle. And see, it's not centered right, but for some reason in this other one that I did, it was centered better. Did I make this one wider or something? Oh, by golly, I did. I made it I should have made that 3 inches. Well, sorry about that. So her measurement is correct here. It should be 3 by 7 and not 3.5. And I think I'm just going to trim a little bit off of this so it's kind of more equal. We'll see. So I can't go all the way to 3 inches because that'll put me way off kilter. So I'm going to go about a 1/4 inch, and I can probably go a little bit more. Wasn't squared off, so I need to get it straight. Get it straight, Maggie. Get it straight. For me, it's Saturday evening. There, that's better. For me, it's Saturday evening. It's still Saturday. I'll probably, if I can get this uploaded, I'll probably go ahead and post it either tonight or in the morning. I'll see. I don't know yet. Okay. So now we have this, and I'm just going to use a little clip to kind of put this in place. Let me ink some of this, for heaven's sakes, because you can't see it. Excuse my arm. I know you probably always see this denim shirt. Believe me, this is not the only one I have. I don't wear it day after day, but I find them comfortable. Today it was a little cooler here in Houston. Thank goodness we could use that little break. And sometimes if the air conditioner is turned on downstairs, well, it's up here as well, it does get cooler, and for me it's just a little bit uncomfortable. So I put this on and I'm perfectly fine and happy. Perfectly fine and happy. So I hope on this Saturday evening you're all enjoying yourself with whatever you're doing, perhaps just relaxing from being home from work. Maybe you're taking some time for yourself and crafting or doing something else that you enjoy. But whatever it is that you're doing, I hope that you're well and that you're happy. All right, so let me ink this as well. So now you can see those lines. This is that 3-inch section where our little image is going to go. And like I said, this one probably will not go in my journal either. I will probably set this aside. I have an envelope that I put some of these things in, so I won't forget how I made them. Now this one, the lady that, the gal from Heather and Jan, Hither and Jan, Hither Andyon. But like I said, I'll link it. And I know other YouTubers, other creators have the same thing. It's a idea book. And I've been kind of really seriously thinking about making myself one and putting ideas in it that I find interesting or that I might want to repeat. So I may just do that. I may figure out how I want to make it and make an idea book. I saw one the other day, a video that the gal took. It was very interesting the way she did it. And if I can think of who it was I watched, I'll watch her. I'll link her video too. But she had found a bunch of old papers apparently in the attic in a box that had some writing on it. I don't know what kind of papers they were, but she decided to take that and make, I don't think she called it an idea book, but I think that's what the purpose of it was. And so she could put things in it that she has made or has learned to make. And in this book, I think I've seen other YouTubers do the same thing. So in the spirit of being a copycat, no, not really. I think it's a wonderful idea, and I think that I'm going to make one for myself and start putting some of these things in it. So this little cute birdie that I really, really like. I think the colors are so pretty. He doesn't quite fit in here, but I think it's good enough. His little tail feathers are slightly cut off. So I am going to place him right in here. And I'm going to glue him down. Oops. Like this. I don't even know where oh, there it is, my other mark. Okay, so I'm going to put them like this and I'm going to trust that I've got it right. I'm going to put some glue in here. Now you do want to be careful that you don't, when you're gluing these things down, that you don't, I've left my cap off of this for a bit of a minute. And I think I just got some that dried up here in the very top. Yeah, that's what it is. Gotta break through that. It's like ice over a pond, you know. If it freezes over and you want to get down there to ice fish or something, you gotta break it open. All right, so if I can carefully put some glue in here without making a mess. And I am making a mess. I don't want to get glue. I don't want this to be glued down my circle. That would not be good. So I have sticky fingers, but you know what? It's all in the spirit of creativity, right? Okay, so this little mark goes right here. This is his little head up here. Any pencil mark I can erase when I'm finished. Okay, so now we have this. Now it was these pieces that kind of gave me a fit, and I did not, again, I made these wider. She called for 2 inch by 2.5 inch, and these are actually 3 inches because my circle is larger than hers was, and she called for 2.5 inches, and these are just 2 1/4. And they worked in this last prototype I made. I don't know if they'll come together this neatly. And I did round the corners because I don't want them to catch on anything. like on the little bird or the inside of the circle or anything. So I did round these corners. I didn't use the big corner. I used the medium-sized corner. I'm hoping that this will work. If not, I'll have to play around with these some more. This is the piece that always gets me. I want mine to close. I would like for mine to close so they just meet together in the center. But I'm not 100% sure until I glue it down. Now, what I did is, in her video, she didn't score anything. She just she just glued it down and went from there. Once I got to fiddling around with this, this seemed just so much easier to me. I think I'm going to put that on this side. Seemed so much easier to me to oh lordy, how am I doing this here? Well, these are going to be upside down. That's just the way it's going to have to be. To make a fold where I knew they would fit, and what I did was I slid them in to about the halfway mark and kind of judged how much of a fold I needed to make here in order to glue this down. And it needs to be glued down just at this flap. So this little piece here, I'm going to take this at this little fold, which I believe is about a 1/4 inch, and I am going to glue it down right here once I determine exactly where it needs to go. And when this is closed, then it'll slide in, and then when it's opened, it'll pull it open. Okay, just double check, make sure I did. Yeah. So I'm going to glue this, like I said, right inside this fold line. This one right here. So it's going to go right here. I want to make sure that my circle, that I'm doing it where it should be for my circle, and that does look correct. I'm going to pencil mark it again. I say pencil is erasable, and if it shows, I can definitely erase it. So I'm just going to glue this, a little glue, Maggie, just a little glue. You don't want to glue this to itself or to the page, other than where you want it to be. See, I can't even see my pencil marks. So here's one. And that should do. I am going to wipe this off. Okay, now same thing goes for this other one. Again, this is about 1/4 inch that I'm going to glue right here. I would like for it to line up with its sister across the hall. And hopefully I can make that happen. So this is going to be right here. Hopefully that's good enough and wasn't way off. Okay, so I'm going to put a little glue right here and glue this down. Right here. I'm going to burnish it. Make sure I don't have any glue oozing out any place. Same here. Okay. Now that those are glued down, whoops. So they meet in the middle. There we go. I may need to take maybe not. I may need to take a little bit off of one of them. see how that is working. Yeah, these are too wide. Did you want to see this? All right, well, since I've already glued them down, all I can do is try to cut them off by a little bit. I'm gonna say it needs to be another, gosh, maybe 1/4 inch. I'm going to attempt to use my scissors. Well, if I mess this up, it is just paper, right? If I mess this up, I can pick these up and glue another piece, a new piece over them, over that spot. So we'll see. I think I didn't cut that straight. Well, that's better, but oh, they do sort of meet, except this one isn't straight. There's a little gap there, and I'm going to be happy with it. I probably should not be happy with it, but there, I think that's good. I think it's good for this purpose that I'm doing this for. Oh, come on. I'm just not going to worry about it. All right. But I will have to make a notation of this measurement so that next time I get it absolutely right. Let me ink around here. These corners, this new edge. Now, making junk journals is not about perfection. It's about expressing yourself and you know, enjoying what you're doing. Okay. Let me make sure I get this centered as best as we can over this little birdie, and his little feet are sticking up, which is not going to be a good thing. Oh dear, I got too much. Oh, Maggie. Oh, I either put too much or not enough. So I made 2 master boards early. That video will go up on Monday, which I really enjoyed making. I always enjoyed master boards. And like everything else that has to do with junk journaling, when I first started, I had no idea what a master board was. And I was making junk journals, or pseudo junk journals, without knowing what a master board was. Now, how is that possible? So I kept trying to watch videos about them, and also to, I even looked them up on Google, I think, you know, to find out, see if I could find out what a master board really was and how you used it. Because I was doing collaging in these journals. I was sometimes using fabric, sometimes I was using paper, you know, and I would copy them and then reuse them in another journal if I wanted to. But I didn't know, or I didn't realize that you can make pockets and tags and so forth out of them. Now that collaging was not a waste because I enjoyed doing it, and I'd cut it out and make a like a addition to a white page to cover the white with my little collage. You know, you learn as you grow, you learn as you go. You can't figure it out all at once. You know, a baby doesn't learn to walk until they're ready to learn to walk. Oops. Oh, this is easy to fix. Alrighty then. So this will be in your journal. This should be decorated with some contrasting patterns of paper. I think I would round the edges on these, round the corners I mean. And then I would also ink them, but I would find some other paper that goes with, but contrast enough that it will look decorative. And then you could really do whatever else you want to do to them. You know, if you wanted not to put a tie on this to close them, you could put a medallion, a circle, or a butterfly, or whatever you wanted to hold one side down. I think on mine, the one I put into my journal, I'm just going to put a little tie around it, probably some twine. And do I have a journal page that I can use to show you? You know, that your journal pages are 8 inches or 8.5 inches. So one of these, okay, these are some fussy cuts that I didn't use. So I saved this. I save this cardstock to back things with or do whatever needs to be done. Alright, so this is 8.5 pages. Now this is why you can use it on a page, because it takes up a good bit of the space. Now you could move it down like I said, and you could just glue it all like a U and on 3 sides, or you could glue it into an L shape and make a tuck spot out of it. So, or you can just put it on your page, which I really plan on doing, and it's just an added decoration. And these still are a little long, because when they open up, it should at least come back to here. Alright, so I'm going to have to work. I told you these pieces are the ones that have given me the biggest fit, and it's just a matter of getting them to be the right size so that they will do the job they're supposed to do. I mean, it comes together nicely in the center. I don't know, maybe you can't see that. It meets nicely in the center, but it should open up far enough so that at least it comes back to just here where this curve is. You should be able to see most of the image. So I will have to take a little bit more off of these and then figure out what they really should be with this 2¼ inch punch. But there you have it. I hope you like it. If you want me to, I could go through it again much slower if you're interested. But like I said, I don't consider this a tutorial, and I don't consider myself a video maker that does these to have tutorials. I'm just not that skilled at it, but all I can do is introduce you to things that I enjoy if you haven't watched certain creators. And if you've watched certain creators that I don't know that do interactive pieces for journals, please let me know, because I definitely will watch them. and I'm trying to share ones that I watch that, you know, maybe for one reason or another don't come up in your feed. So that is the purpose of my videos, to introduce you, of this video is to introduce you to new things, show you how I made it and the struggles that I have with it, to give you the basic dimensions and the basics of how it's put together, and the link to the Dear Lady's channel that I saw this on. So if you enjoyed it, please give me a like and subscribe. Again, I'm going to give you the measurements one more time just in case you desire to do this. You need 4 pieces, the base piece, the center, the circle piece, and your 2 little doors down here. So this big piece measures 7 inches, 11 inches by 6 inches. And again, you can just use an 11 and a half, 11 by 8.5 piece of paper. So 7 by 11, 7/11. And the center piece is 3 inches. Let me tell you right, 3 inches by 7 inches, because you're going to score it and fold it over the back by 1/2 of an inch. Okay, and then these little flaps, the exact measurements are up for debate, but they should at least cover your circle. So I made these 3 inches tall, and I made them 2.5 inches deep, I think. No, these are 2 inches deep. But I really feel like some more needs to come off. So when it closes all together, and when it comes back out, it reveals most of the image. So I'm not quite sure, because when it closes, they do match pretty, they come right together. But when you pull them apart, they still are not exposing the whole little bird. So I have to work on that. I have to think about that. But that's kind of where it stands now. And it is something that you can tweak and play around with, and, you know, just make it your own. You might even have a better idea for this, which I would really like to know, because I do want to use this in my journal. But I do want to make it correctly as well. Not maybe that there is such thing in junk journaling as a correct way and a wrong way, but in some things you do have to be more precise in your measurements. And I'm kind of perplexed as to why this isn't doing the way I want it to do. But, oh well. It is what it is. I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this. And I hope you will want to make one for yourself, for your journals. Let me know in the comments if you do. You know, if you need any more help, if going to Heather and Jan helps you, then, you know, let me know. I appreciate knowing those things. So for now, I'm going to get off until the next video tomorrow. This is going to go up tonight sometime. So tomorrow's video is going to be the final flip through of the library journal, and then we'll be all completely done with that. And I'll be starting my new journal at the end of the week, probably. Maybe, yeah, maybe midweek to some degree. Okay, so you guys have a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. It is getting oh, it's not late, but well, it is. It's 8 o'clock. It's not that late. So whatever you're doing, enjoy it, and have a wonderful day tomorrow. Be blessed, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.